Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about altcoins, we're going to move some crypto around for you guys, and like I said, I'm going to do my best to answer your questions and maybe do some troubleshooting on the fly. And of course, we're going to cover the news as usual. So let's get this thing going. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm here again with the rig and my new microphone boom, which I think is pretty cool. I've always felt like the audio wasn't as professional as I would like it to sound here on the live stream. And so I noticed that most of the big YouTubers, the streamers, were using Microsoft booms of some sort. So I'm going to give it a try. I've worked around with the software a little bit with my microphone. So hopefully you're going to have a much better audio experience. Let's make sure that, yes, audio is on. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. A friend of mine sent me an email earlier and said that I was pretty brave doing my live stream tonight. And yeah, things are market-wise, price-wise, kind of grim and depressing. But I'm going to press on. I said I thought the same thing earlier in the day. I said I said the opposite of brave. I said, it would be cowardly not to do the live stream, right? So I got everything up and ready to go, and I'm gonna press on. All right. So let's go over here and check out what's going on with everybody. Welcome again, Barbara K, Kenneth, Brandon, Joanne L. It's great to have everybody here again. Amsterdam, Holland, Frank Rodriguez, Dave Flowers. It's great to have all you guys here. I know I can always count on my regular viewers, and I'm very grateful for you guys. Let's go ahead and pop out chat. Oh, and Dan is here, coward number one, and here and accounted for. Yeah. Yeah, we're all brave being here tonight, that's for sure. But we've got some interesting stuff to talk about. I'm going to bring this guy over here, and let's see, what should I do now? Let's jump over here. Yeah. Just to remind you guys, down in the description below, we've got some topics that we're going to cover tonight. I've got a cool little gadget I want to show you guys. And of course, we're going to buy a little crypto and transfer it. And I'm going to mess around with MetaMask. A lot of people have our MetaMask challenged. So I'm going to talk about MetaMask. You've seen me use it quite a bit, but I want to try to break down exactly what MetaMask is and what it isn't, and some of the ways that it's flexible, dealing with multiple wallets, different accounts, your hardware devices, and all that kind of stuff. I think I may have bought some Bitcoin this week. I did some trading earlier. I was liquidating some coins that have been sitting around for a long time. Because I need a little money. Sometimes you just gotta sell because you need a little money. And, I've had some coins I've had in my wallet for years. And so anyway, I was doing the equivalent of scraping I was doing the equivalent of checking the couch cushions for change, like you want to order a pizza, so you look in the couch cushions. I do that with my crypto wallets, right? All right, so I've got all my affiliate links here. If you're interested in any of these services or products, I encourage you to use my links. Helps me, helps the channel. And, we got crypto.com. We got Ledger, Trezor, great clothing line for hodlers, Ledger starter pack for beginners, pretty easy on the pocketbook to get yourself going. BlockFi for earning interest on your deposits. CoinTracker for helping you track all of your exchanges and wallets, trades and transactions, transfers, and for tax purposes, among other things. Sometimes I'm like, where did that go? I don't know where it is. And so I'll go check it on cointracker.io. And then some cryptocurrency exchanges here. And of course, some cool links about Bitcoin and all of the news stories. All right. So let's jump in. Let's see. What's our first story here? Let's go over here and let's just check out Market Wrap. I'm going to move over to this so you guys can hear me a little better. I'm going to move this up slightly. See, I still don't know how to use this stupid thing. I hope my sound is coming through nice with some bass, which is good. All right, so I'm going to pop up the window here. Like I said, thanks for everyone that's jumping in. I always appreciate it when you guys jump in. Okay, no huge questions at the moment. Is Osmo back up yet? Yes, it is. Still waiting for the restart. We'll check Osmosis. I'm sure the Kepler wallet is still working. I know that Osmosis had some sort of, I read the story. I didn't include it in the news, but they were, there was a, I don't want to call it a hack. Of course I can't think of the word for it right now. An exploit, which is basically misusing the process. They didn't go in and hack the code. They just misused the existing tools and were able to gain by they were able to deposit and withdraw. And somehow by doing that in and out of liquidity pools, they were able to somehow gain a 50% bonus on their withdrawal. And then they immediately withdrew it, and the hack or the exploit was discovered pretty quickly, and the Osmosis chain was shut down. All right, so we can talk more about that. Maybe I'll see if Osmosis is going to work. Let's see. Oh, before we get too much further, let me see if I can find this email. Yeah, they sent it to me in this email. They invited me somewhere. If I can find this, I know it's here. No. Yes, here we go. So Ledger is going to be having an event in New York, and my rep from Ledger.com invited me to go. I'm a pretty family-oriented guy. We always go out and do stuff together. I don't leave the house much, and when I do, it's with my family. But and I think I'd been invited to something else similar to this before that was in New York, and I was in LA at the time, and so it wasn't feasible. But I checked the options, flight options, and it's only a 2-hour flight from Grand Rapids to New York. And so I'm just going to go in the morning, catch an early flight, and I'll attend this thing, and I'll come home at night. I'll come home around 8 and get home around 10, and just make a day of it. So, of course, I'll keep you guys updated as to what's going on with this, but it's going to be pretty cool. They've got some cool events. You might want to check this thing out yourselves. If you want to get in on any of these streams. Someone just asked me if Ledger, is Ledger Nano X the best ledger? I would say it is. It is the most expensive, and it has the most features. It has the most space, and it doesn't have the biggest screen. The Ledger Nano S Plus has the same screen now, the Ledger Nano S being the newest addition to the family. But the Ledger Nano S does not have Bluetooth. So if you want Bluetooth, then you definitely need to go with the Ledger Nano X. So as far as the Ledger product line is concerned, the Ledger Nano X is the top of the line, if you want to put it that way. So anyway, let's go back, jumping into the news here. Where'd we go? Market wrap. Bitcoin and stocks drop. Analysts see risk of further downside. This was from Friday, I believe, pretty much. Global markets were in risk-off mode on Friday, sending stocks and cryptos lower. You'll notice the title of the live stream is Bitcoin price suffers from inflation woes. And for a Bitcoin purist, that's kind of frustrating because Bitcoin was supposed to be an inflation hedge. And that's a big point of contention with the crypto advocates and the crypto bashers. Crypto advocates like to say that Bitcoin is and I'm talking more about Bitcoin maximalists. Bitcoin is an inflation hedge, right? Because it has a set amount built into the code. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever mined on the Bitcoin blockchain, and that is deflationary, right? But unfortunately, price action-wise, market action-wise, Bitcoin tends to act as a risk-off asset, and hopefully sometime in the future, it will become more of a pure inflation hedge. But as it stands right now, it's not really living up to that. So that's why I put Bitcoin price suffers. I originally had Bitcoin suffers from inflation woes, but then I thought, no, it's not really Bitcoin suffering. It's the Bitcoin price. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So we had a horrible CPI print on Friday. The latest figures were released. And so inflation is really bad, right? And the funny thing is that I was reading a lot about this, and there were some articles that said, Wall Street shocked by high inflation numbers. And most of the people in the comments section were like, how could they possibly be shocked? Don't they buy gas and go buy food at the grocery store? Because anyone that's been buying gas or food over the last year knows that inflation is like out of control. And this 8.6 figure is very conservative. If we were still calculating inflation by the same methods that we used during the Carter administration, it would be much, much higher. Along the 15 to 20% range. But they've changed the way they calculate inflation and the basket that they use, and we're at 8.6, and that's pretty darn high. So that current rate was released. That was the highest in quite some time, since 1981. And it was a big jump from the previous month, and so the market is pretty spooked on that. And mostly because the perception is with inflation that high, they know the Fed is going to continue to raise rates. And so it's really not the inflation so much that's spooking the market, but the anticipation of higher interest rates more than anything, right? And then there's some that are saying the fact that they're raising the rates so quickly indicates that they're going to cause a recession, and that means they're going to have to lower them at some point later in the year. And so there's some market optimism on that, the whole good news is bad news stuff. But and it affected all markets, all stocks, bonds, everything, right? And then Bitcoin just got drugged down with it. Although there are some things going on in the crypto markets that have their own trajectory. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum tonight, which is the number 2 cryptocurrency. All right, so that's the latest thing. You can check this article down in the description below. Let's see, what's our next news story here? I'm going to move this one over here, and then I'm going to check where we're at. Bitcoin altcoin sell-off. Yeah, I don't think I have that one pulled up here. Yeah, let's pull this guy up, if my internet is working. Bitcoin altcoin sell-off on record high inflation, but traders still expect BTC to consolidate. So Bitcoin has been pushed back down where it was a couple weeks ago before. It's made several, just as an aside, it's made several attempts at upside over the last several weeks, all the way up to around 32. But it always kind of gets pulled back down due to market conditions, right? Bitcoin just can't seem to pull out. Let's check out where Bitcoin is at the moment. Let's see what we got here. Let's go over to crypto.com, one of my sponsors. By the way, I talked to my crypto.com rep, and they are happy to renew their relationship with me. It's a yearly thing, and I got a new influencer rep, and we live streamed or zoomed. Actually, it was Google, Google, whatever that thing is, Google Neighborhoods, Google Connect, Hangouts, right? Google Hangouts. We did a Google Hangout video stream and got to know each other a little bit. And, my background with crypto.com and, her background, she's been there since January. But I'm going to continue to have a relationship with crypto.com. They got some cool stuff coming out. And I'm going to be doing some videos on some of their new stuff coming soon. So keep your eyes open for that. But I like crypto.com on my phone because it's an easy way for me to get a current price of Bitcoin. And they're based, I don't know, the servers appear to be based in Hong Kong. So you're kind of front running the US just a tad. But so what we got is 28,791. And that's kind of the lower limit, right? We're kind of down at the lower limits. Because Bitcoin had been sort of treading water above 30 over the last day or two. But then on Friday, it took another dive along with the rest of the crypto market, and it went back down to 29.5, right? But now it's like even below that, right? It's like under 29,000. So here we go. Let's see. I'm just checking over here on the live stream. BTC is a smart move, but is it worth it to take a shot at a few alts you really believe in? That's more investment kind of stuff. And I've been saying if you have the money, everything is low now, but so it's a good time to buy any of your favorite altcoins that are in the top 10 or top 20. But we could be seeing more downside, so keep that in mind. That you might have to, if you buy now, you might have to just kind of hold on with your fingernails as things go lower. But when and if, hopefully when the markets do recover, you'll have bought at a pretty low price point, right? Even if we see more downside from here, you might want to just hang in there if you decide to buy now. I'm not really buying that much right now, personally. But like I said, we're not, I'm not really here for market advice. I don't know that Ethereum's going to go down to 1K. We'll talk about the mechanics of what's going on with Ethereum, though. Although I don't do price predictions, I do want to give you all the information you might need to know the current situation. So anyway, here we go. Bitcoin at 28,786, and Ethereum has bounced back up from its $1,500 plunge at least for now, right? So that's where we're at. So let's go to the next story. We were looking at this story here. We've had quite a bit of sell-off due to the high inflation print that came out on Friday, yesterday. But yeah, I mean, anybody that's, half a brain cell knows that prices are going up, right? We all know inflation's high. All we have to do is look at the gas pump, right? And go to the grocery store. So I've got this story linked down below. Okay. Yeah. So, we'll talk more about the pure metrics behind Bitcoin, and but I should point out at this juncture, we're talking about the high inflation print, that this is one of the disadvantages of our current system, right? A lot of people, they talk about Bitcoin. Oh, it's an alternate system. It's an alternate currency. Alternative to what, right? Alternative to what we're in now. And for most of the last 10, 20 years, most people were fine with the system, right? They were like, well, what do you mean? What do I need Bitcoin for? Everything that I do works. All right, I get paid. I come home, put my money in the bank, pay my bills. We go out, I buy stuff for my kids. Life's not bad, right? Well, that there was always a little bit under the surface going on with that, right? The government being high in debt, right? The national debt very high. Quantitative easing going on in the background, but it didn't really affect us that much. But over the last couple months, last year, it has been affecting us a lot now. We're seeing inflation, and inflation is built into the system, right? For whatever reason you want to say, if you think it's the Russians, if you think it's China, if you think it's Biden, if you think it's the COVID fallout, from being shut down for 2 years, if you think it was the endless money printing of the Fed, if you think it's the quantitative easing that's been going on, it's built into the system, right? This is a fiat-based, debt-based economic system that we're living in. And things kind of can go along for a while and look bad, but when inflation starts to rear its ugly head, people step back and say to themselves, is this the best system we could have, right? And I don't know that Bitcoin is like ready to jump in and take its place, but there's a lot of people waking up to the fact that the system that we have now is not perfect. Let's just put it that way, right? Inflation. It's really bad right now. All right, so let's go to the next story. What do we got here? This one, Ethereum tumbles below Hodlers. Yeah, I got this one here. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum right now. Ethereum has been devastated lately, more so than Bitcoin, right? This is a story from Zero Hedge, which is a good financial site if you're, follow the markets and that sort of thing. A lot of lively discussion in the comments section, right? They have all kinds of good stories. And like I've got this one linked down below. Bitcoin remains stuck at a $30,000 trading range, 2K range around the nice round number for the past month. That's a pretty fair assessment, right? We've seen Bitcoin at 32 briefly, and we've seen Bitcoin a little below 29, right? In the 28,700, 28,500, whatever. That's been our range with Bitcoin, all right? But Ethereum has been tumbling. Ethereum has totally retraced its entire outperformance since late 2020. Whereas we had Ethereum was outperforming a lot of other assets, it's gone right back down to where it was back in 2020. It was merely level pegged with benchmark equities since both then and the start of 2019 for an equivalent unit of risk invested. Right? Worse, after relentlessly dropping for 10 consecutive weeks, the token, which forms the backbone for Web3 and for which Goldman called the Amazon of information, has just taken out a key long-term support, tumbling 12% on Sunday to 1,500. I don't know why they said Sunday. It's only Saturday. It's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, maybe that's a typo. They point to several reasons. UBS, which is a big bank / investment / hedge fund behemoth, whatever, talking about Ethereum. And it's interesting that UBS is, giving us detailed reports on this particular crypto. Because, back in 2017, the big financial firms totally ignored Bitcoin as well as crypto, right? So now, we're getting huge banks reporting on the state of our cryptocurrency. So it's, if anything, that's a good sign that adoption is kind of here to stay, right? So anyway, UBS mentions a lot of these things. Less people are buying NFTs, right, and engaging in DeFi. So that hurts Ethereum to a certain extent, right? We also have the Terra implosion that occurred last month, and that was pretty bad for the reputation of crypto in general. So a lot of people might conflate Ethereum with Terra, even though Ethereum is much more secure. But the fear has spread, right? So we're having less interaction with NFTs and DeFi, which is, bad for Ethereum. And then we also had the Terra incident, which is bad for people's trust in crypto in general, right? Additionally, some slowing in the network, as so often difficulty bomb begins to bite ahead of late summer merge, may also be exerting some drag. Amid this wholesale sell-off, bear market blues, liquidations, and outright capitulation have set in among even the most ardent crypto proponents, right? And they've got some links here. Yet, in comparison to crypto winners, now they kind of switch between Ethereum and Bitcoin here. In comparison to prior crypto winners, Bitcoin's price has yet to fall below Hodlers holders' average cost basis, $23,500. Although after today's drop, Ether is now below the average cost basis, which according to UBS is at $1,750. So things are looking pretty bad for Ethereum. Furthermore, net unrealized profit loss metrics highlight specifically how long-term hodlers have yet to be tested, right? So if you bought your Ethereum, back in 2018 or whatever, when it was below 1,000, you're still in the black, right? And, things could get worse if those people that bought Ethereum, around 1,000 or 1,100, or 1,200 or 1,300, those people, if it falls down below those levels, those people might start capitulating in as well to preserve their capital, right? So things aren't going too good for Ethereum right now. But this is a great article, a lot of good information and a lot of good references. You'll notice there's a lot of links in this article, right? And then if you go down even further, I don't have time to go through the entire thing. You can show comments. And I have to tell you that If you go into the Zero Hedge comment section on any report on cryptocurrency, you will see a lot of bashers. And it's good therapy for a believer to hear the other side, or, what other people think about crypto. It's not good, right? That is what you get when you buy air, nothing, reversion to intrinsic value. You're going to see a lot of crypto bashers in the comment section of Zero Hedge. So tread lightly, my friends, right? And let's see there. I have another, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Zero Hedge in the comment section in a bit. Let's see if we can get through the news here. We're already at 6:30. Let's go into, the SEC is investigating Terra. They're based in a different country, but the SEC has long arms. And, anywhere in the world that your company is based, if you're selling to U.S. investors, or if, your products are available to U.S. customers, then you fall under their purview. And they can serve you with subpoenas. They can investigate you. They can levy fines and all kinds of trouble in your life, right? We've heard in the past, SEC investigations, they've arrested people that were, traveling. They came to visit the U.S. and they got arrested when they set foot in the U.S. Or there might be some kind of warrant out for them, and so it's not good. I don't care who you are, where you are in the world. If you got the SEC breathing down your neck, it's not good, right? And originally, I believe Do Kwon and the people from Terra tried to dispute the subpoena, and the courts ruled that the subpoena was. Let me see if I have that story here. I don't know that I did. I was going to link to it. Yeah, they disputed it and appealed it, and then the final court ruled that the subpoena was proper, right? So they're going to have to deal with it. And it's mostly, I'm sure a lot of you here have experienced the pain of the Terra Luna crash. I, lost a couple $1,000, $3,600 to be precise, if you want to call it that. Of course, a lot of those investments were made during the up times, the 2020 and 2021, when things were going really good. I was in a lot of profit, and so I was selling coins at a profit to buy other coins, right? And so you could say that that was play money, but money is money, right? So if I was in the green on Solana and I sold a couple of grand of Solana to buy some Luna, that's still money I could have put somewhere else, right? So all told, I believe I invested a total of about $3,600 in Luna. It was worth around 10 grand at one point, and then it went to zero, right? So we've all been affected by this. And I'm in the U.S., right? So I don't believe that I will ever see that money again. But and it really is not going to make me sleep better at night to know that, Do Kwon's in jail or fined or, fined into bankruptcy or whatever. It's not really going to help me. I don't believe I'm ever going to see any kind of recompense for that, right? Buyer beware. Yeah. So, but like I said before, when we talked about the Terra Luna fiasco and the algorithmic stablecoin, I still think that algorithmic stablecoins are a good idea, and that being able to earn interest on a stablecoin in a pool is an idea whose time has come. It may have been overplayed, obviously was, but I still believe that that is the future of DeFi. And I hope that even maybe not with Terra, but there are a lot of other chains where you can earn interest in DeFi. And Tron is still working on has algorithmic stablecoin. So we'll see. But right now, algorithmic stablecoins are under a lot of scrutiny and pressure, right? But not a bad idea in my view, right? Just maybe the implementation was bad, right? Let's see where we're at now. We got a lot of news to cover tonight. This is kind of a small story, but I will just briefly cover it. Coin Center, and I'm not really sure what Coin Center is. Crypto think tank, okay. A crypto think tank called Coin Center filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Treasury Department and the Internal Revenue Service on Friday, claiming that a crypto tax reporting requirement enshrined in last year's infrastructure law is unconstitutional. We talked a lot about this law. There was some debate. It was one of those huge bills that has to pass, right? The must-pass bill that was dropped on their desk, and then they had like 24 hours to read, 3,000 pages. Most of the senators didn't read it, but and it passed, right? But there was some contention over this particular amendment and the wording of it. And it went a little bit back and forth, but in the end, it was included in the infrastructure bill. But unconstitutional claim, the claim is that this is an unconstitutional, I guess it's a law now, right? Because it's been signed by the president. Basically, the requirements for anything over 10,000 are, you have to, if you're sending or receiving from a wallet or an exchange, you have to know both sides of the transaction, and you have to keep track of them. Here we go. The reporting mandate would force Americans using cryptocurrency to share intrusive details about themselves, both with each other and with the federal government. Under the terms of the mandate, everyday senders and receivers of cryptocurrency would be forced to reveal their names, social security numbers, home addresses, and other personally identifying information, right? And this is really anti-crypto. The whole idea of crypto is being able to transact without having to reveal all of this personal information, right? Bitcoin was one of those things and I made this comparison before. If I want to buy something on Amazon, I've got to, give them my credit card. I got to give them the expiration date. I got to give them my name, my home address. I got to do all this stuff so that Amazon will know that the card is good and that I'm good and that, they have to know all this stuff, right? That's the way our system works. But with Bitcoin, I can send you Bitcoin, right? If you have a Bitcoin wallet, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right? You see the Bitcoin come into your wallet, you know it's good, right? You don't need to know who I am, where I am, how much money I have in my bank account, what my social security number is. Bitcoin stands alone, right? That was the whole promise of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Right. So for the government to step in and say, oh, no, we can't have people just exchanging value freely between each other. We got to know everything about this transaction. Right. So infringes on our right to privacy, and according to Coin Center, is an unconstitutional requirement. So I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll check into that. All right, and the last story I want to cover, I know we're kind of getting bogged down in the news, but that's fine. This is a great article about what Bitcoin is and what's good about it, right? I know a lot of you jump into the live stream because you're interested in the investing side of cryptocurrencies, and there's nothing wrong with that. And, I invest in cryptocurrencies myself, so I'm not going to play all high and mighty and say, that investment isn't a feature or a factor of wanting to own Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, right? But there's more to Bitcoin than just an investment, right? It's more than just a commodity. It is a way of life. It is an alternate type of transfer of value between two sentient beings, right? Although sometimes I wonder if I'm sentient or not, right? But I'm just going to go over this article briefly. I highly encourage you guys to read it. If you are just coming into the live stream, you don't know much about what Bitcoin is. I've talked about it quite a bit in the live stream about how it's code and how it's on GitHub, that it's open source. But I'll just go through this article here. The 7 pillars of Bitcoin is what you would expect. Oh no, please, no, not my OBS studio. Oh God. I'm still getting green on my connection, but I just saw something from OBS saying that I lost connection. Anyway, I apologize for that. I don't know what I'm going to have to wipe my hard disk clean and reinstall Windows. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so somebody made a political comment and YouTube flagged it. But I don't see any profanity in there. It's derogatory towards our esteemed president, but he didn't use any profanity, but YouTube flagged it. Interesting, right? I'm just going to show it, right? Maybe they'll ban me from YouTube for calling the president a puppet. I don't know. Anyway, we're talking about open source. It is an amazing thing. It is free. Not just free, like if there's software that's open source, like whatever, it's a little utility for converting videos from MP3 to JPEG or MP3 to, I'm sorry. Like, let's say it's it's a little utility to convert videos from MPEG to MKV or MP4 or whatever. And it's open source. That means it's free, right? That means you can download it and use it for free. But in addition to that, it also means that you're free to use it in any way you deem you want. You can alter the code, whatever. So open source is a really cool thing, and people get together and they collaborate, and then they have this system of governance, right? So I'll put a link to that. So Bitcoin, and we're just talking Bitcoin here. This is a Bitcoin maximalist article. All right. Open source software based or Bitcoin Core, an essential pillar that has contributed to the incredible success of Bitcoin. Anyone can access the Bitcoin Core code. I've shown you that before. It's on GitHub, right? We can look at the Bitcoin code. We can see how it operates. We can download it to our computers. We can play around with it. We can add and subtract to it. It's freely available to anyone that wants to take a look at it. All right. Now, if you have a bug fix or you want to add a feature, then there's a process, right? But you can check out the Bitcoin code, make alterations, and then merge your chain with the main chain if you go through proper channels, right? So there's a whole system of governance on how Bitcoin Core code gets updated and bug fixed and all that, and new features added. So that is one incredible thing about Bitcoin, right? It's not controlled by any one person. Right? Transparent, right? We talked a little bit about this. Transparent means that anyone can look at the blockchain, not just the code, but the ledger of all the transactions that have occurred since the beginning, since block 0, right? The Genesis block. all the way through till today. You can download Bitcoin. You can download a Bitcoin node to your computer and run it, and it is transparent, right? Well, I'll tell you one thing that is not transparent is what happens with your bank, right? You can't go into your bank's accounting records and see who they're lending money to, or what they've invested in, or how much debt they're carrying on their books, any of that stuff. That's closed. That's a closed system, right? That is not transparent. Bitcoin is transparent, right? Neutral, right? It's up to users to make Bitcoin a success or a failure, right? It is a truly community-oriented type of project, right? We get all caught up in the price action and what whales are doing, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's controlled by the big guys, and the whales manipulate the price and all that stuff." They very may well be manipulating the price, but as we mentioned, Bitcoin is more than just the price, right? And if you own Bitcoin, you control it. You control your Bitcoin. Decentralized, right? Not only is it's decentralized, but it has more resistant to potential attacks. The network, its uptime is 99.9885, right? Even YouTube goes down sometimes. Even Amazon goes down sometimes, right? Your power grid goes down. Sometimes you lose power. Bitcoin has an uptime of 99.98. That's an incredible measurement of the resilience of the Bitcoin network, right? So you might want to take a look at that. Censorship resistant, right? The absence of a leader has allowed Bitcoin to become a true democracy where all users are equal. That's a pretty high pie in the sky statement, but yeah, we'll go with it. Each user is free to use Bitcoin as he wishes. No one can force you to use Bitcoin against your will. You can send Bitcoin to whoever you want over the network. Your Bitcoin can never be confiscated as long as you have the private key. As a reminder of this necessity, please remember, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. With today's banking system, governments can put pressure on you by threatening to confiscate what you own. Have you ever, when tax time rolls around, everyone freaks out. I got to pay my taxes, got to pay my taxes, got to be on time or I'll get fined. What if you don't pay your taxes? Well, then the government's going to come after you. What are they going to do? Well, they could put you in jail, but most likely they're going to fine you, right? And they can just pull that money right out of your bank, right? They can confiscate what you own, but they can't do that with Bitcoin, right? They can come into your house and put a gun to your head, but unless you physically give them the password or the code, they can't they just can't confiscate it like they can a bank account, right? They can just go to your bank and your bank will give them access. But Bitcoin's not like that. You control the private key. Secure, we talked about Bitcoin being secure. Most decentralized network in the world. And then the monetary policy of Bitcoin is there is no person in charge of the monetary policy, right? It never gets adjusted. The US dollar, they can pump more dollars into the system or they can pull dollars out by adjusting, the rates. They don't do that with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a code built in to the program and it executes, right? Nobody goes in there and changes it based on current politics or economics, right? It is what it is, right? And then final thoughts, right? So before we jump into some other stuff that I wanted to show you, I would just like to mention that if you go down to this comment section, you will see that there are a lot of comments that are very negative about Bitcoin, right? And I invite you to read those. Let's just... people don't like Bitcoin. I'm just looking... I'm trying to find something that's short. Some people are for it. There it is. Dirty little secret. A few hundred people control 40% of Bitcoin. How's that for decentralized? My neighbor down the street lost his entire savings in stablecoin. And then someone said, yeah, but that's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is nothing. Nothing is BTC, and BTC is nothing. So the thing I like about Bitcoin is that there's no set narrative, right? It's up to you to do your own research, right? And it forces me, at least over the years, to realize that not everything is what other people tell you it is, right? I think I've told this story about my grandmother. She would always, every time she'd see something on TV, she would immediately believe it's true and just like adopt it to her life. And my mom would always make fun of her and go, oh, she saw something on TV and now she thinks it's the God honest truth, right? She believes everything she sees on TV. For an example, I bought her some ginkgo biloba and, to help improve her memory or whatever, because she was complaining. And a couple of months later, she goes, oh, I'm not going to take any more of that. I saw this thing on TV that said it's bad, so I'm not going to take it anymore. So, but she didn't weigh anything in her mind. She just saw it on TV and believed it, right? And so when you're into cryptocurrency and you're doing research, you're going to see both sides of the argument, right? And there's no comforting person that's going to just tell you this is what Bitcoin is, right? You're going to have to listen. You'll hear one person tell you what it is and what it does and what it's good for, and then you'll have somebody else over here telling you the exact opposite, right? So what are you going to do, right? You're going to go through it, all of it, and you're going to decide for yourself based on what you've heard, and you decide what you think is right or wrong, right? So there's so many things in our world today, vaccine, anti-vaccine. January 6th was a riot. January 6th was, what are they calling it? A coup or an insurrection, right? January 6th is an insurrection. January 6th was a riot, right? Who are you going to believe, right? There's so many. Trump was a Russian spy. Trump was not a Russian spy, right? You've got all these narratives, right? And there's so many people that believe one or the other just based on what they've seen on TV or what they've read in one article without doing any research, or most likely what they've seen in a headline. My video is blurred on your end. Well, I hope I'm not blurred to everyone else, because I thought I was good. Anyway, I'm sorry if there's any technical issues with the stream right now. Maybe you forgot your glasses? Anyway. Well, all I'm trying to say is that Bitcoin and cryptos are a good topic for you to delve into and make your own determination using your powers of reasoning and logic, right? Don't just read something or go to somebody's website and watch a video and say, oh, so-and-so said Bitcoin is going up next week, or so-and-so said Bitcoin's going down next week, right? Determine your own beliefs based on your own research and don't just go to sources, right? Go to all the sources you can find, pro and con, and make your own determination. And Bitcoin has taught me that over the years, right? So we live in a world where we've got a lot of yays and nays over narratives. So don't be afraid to jump in there and do research. I know some people would rather not. Most people would rather just believe what they're told and go about their life and watch sports or do macrame or go outside and run or play and just ignore the issues. That's fine for most people. But I'm not the kind of person that's just going to take what I read in a news headline as the God's honest truth until I've done research. All right? Anyway. That's kind of beside the point, right? But let's see. What do we got to do tonight? What are we going to do? We're going to buy a little Bitcoin, right? We're going to buy a little Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum. And, by the way, let's see. Let's check in with Coinbase. Last week on the live stream, I bought some Bitcoin on Coinbase, and they wouldn't let me withdraw it. Where are we here? Oh, I'm in the wrong browser. Hang on. Let's get rid of all this stuff here. Yeah. Let's go to Coinbase. So apparently they changed their policy and I can no longer buy Bitcoin immediately and then immediately withdraw it. You know, they always said that it might take 3 to 5 days for the transaction to clear in the fine print, but in practice, they would always allow me to withdraw it right away. But when we bought this Bitcoin last week and we used the bank account, right? We did the bank account purchase. We went to buy. I think we bought $50 worth of Bitcoin and we used our bank account, right? Not our debit card. We went directly from the bank account, right? So as you can see, I've got 3 bank accounts and a debit card. So I don't know, maybe the debit card they would have let me withdraw right away, but the fees are usually higher with a debit card. But in all my experience over the years, and you saw me do it lots of times in the live stream, I ran over to Coinbase, bought some Bitcoin, through using my ACH bank account, and then withdrew it directly to my wallet. Well, last week we tried, couldn't do it. Would not let me withdraw that Bitcoin. As you can see, it's still in there and it's worth less. I think last week it was worth 48, right? Because we did pay like a $1.99 fee for the Bitcoin. And since then, the price of Bitcoin has come down, right? Because I think we were about 30 last week, 30,000. But now they're going to let me withdraw it. I got an email a couple days ago telling me that my funds were now available. So, and like I said, Coinbase always told me that it might take 3 to 5 business days for my funds to be available for a withdrawal when I made a cryptocurrency purchase. But in practice, they would always let me withdraw it right away until last week. So I don't know if it's me or just Coinbase in general, but I had someone send me an email last week that was complaining about Bitcoin not releasing Bitcoin for a withdrawal. And his case was different. He said that his money was in Coinbase for a while as cash, and then he decided to buy some Bitcoin. And then when he tried to withdraw, they told him that there was like a 72-hour hold on it. Sounded to me like he got red flagged for some reason. So, but I don't know the whole story, right? But he was frustrated, and I agree, that was frustrating. But in my case, you know, my pattern is fairly normal. I've been using Coinbase since 2017, and my general pattern is to buy crypto and withdraw it to my own wallet within minutes. I've always done that, so it shouldn't raise any red flags with them, right? But last week was the first time I was told that, or I just couldn't withdraw. They just wouldn't let me, right? Nobody told me anything, but that was what happened to me. So, but now we can, we bought it last week. Let's go ahead and withdraw it, right? Now I can send it, right? It used to, every time I would hit this, it would be 0, right? Last week, right? So where are we going to send it? Let's go ahead and send it to our ledger. We'll go over here to accounts, and we'll scroll down to Bitcoin 1 or Bitcoin main. Let's do that. Right, here's my Bitcoin account. As you notice in Ledger Live, you can have multiple Bitcoin accounts. I got one here, got one here, got one here. This Bitcoin account is associated with my Ledger Nano S. I have 2 ledgers. I've got a Ledger Nano X and a Ledger Nano S. Actually, this should be a plus. Right, we can edit this. That makes it more. It is the Ledger Nano Plus now. You know. So you can manage multiple. You can create multiple Bitcoin accounts. You can put different amounts of Bitcoin in each account. You can play around with your Bitcoin, right? Have more than one account associated with one ledger, and you can have multiple ledgers managed within Ledger Live. Just point that out. All right, so, but we'll use Bitcoin main, and I want to do a receive. I can click receive and continue, and I don't really need the device attached. Ledger Live has the public information of the wallet, and they're able to generate a unique Bitcoin receiving address. So we'll go ahead and click that. Now, there are 3 components to a Bitcoin wallet, or let's say a Bitcoin address. There is the private key, which remains private and is stored on the external device. There is the public key, which is associated with the private key. It's part of the whole public-private key cryptography protocol. But you really don't see that at all in Ledger Live. You can see it if you want to, but it's not obvious. What you see are these Bitcoin addresses, and that's the third component, right? So we've got a private key, a public key, and the private key can generate the public key, and the public key can generate individual Bitcoin addresses. So you have one wallet, one Bitcoin wallet that can generate multiple addresses, but each of those addresses points to the same wallet, the same public key, right? But it helps on the blockchain. Each Bitcoin receiving address is different when you explore the chain, so that you won't see all of you can't look at the entire wallet just by one receiving address, right? Some people, that's frustrating for them, but in reality that it protects the privacy of the wallet to a certain extent, so that you can't see everything that goes on in the wallet. Anyway, so we got that address. I'm going to go over to Coinbase. I'm going to paste in that address, and we'll let's make our withdrawal. Finally, the Bitcoin we bought last week. And what just happened? Oh, okay. There's my overview. They're going to charge me a small amount, the Bitcoin network fee. Let's see how much that is. BTC. Just so you can get some idea, it's not that much. It's 11 cents, right? So not that much. Mike, BC Mike, thanks for the tip. I'm going to address your question here in a sec as soon as we get this away. Let's go ahead and send now. I'll put in my two-factor authentication. We'll confirm that, and away it goes. Let's make sure that goes out. Okay, there we go. And then we'll just monitor in the wallet over here. for that Bitcoin to come in, right? And we'll sync. Hopefully it'll be soon. Okay, so Mike has XDC or HBAR on Nano X. Maybe you have video on it. Thanks. I do not. XDC, both of those are a little tricky, but I did hear that Ledger Live was going to be supporting HBAR natively. So usually it's kind of a pain. And the problem I always had with HBAR was that you had to use this third-party wallet. And in order to use the wallet, you had to sign up for an account on the HBAR blockchain or whatever. And you had to buy a membership of some kind in order to use their blockchain, which I was never really crazy about that. I mean, the underlying idea is that in order to use their blockchain, you have to be invited by somebody that is already using it. I'm not sure, what, I mean, it sounds like all, huggy, touchy-feely, kumbaya and hugs and, sharing with each other on this blockchain. But the reality is that most people that want to buy HBAR don't know anybody that already has it. So they have to deal with some kind of third-party arbitration people that are going to charge you for access to the blockchain. And so I'm never a huge fan of that kind of stuff. But see, we're still waiting for the Bitcoin. We might have to wait a minute or two. But let's see if they support HBAR. Let's go to accounts. And I believe HBAR. Yeah, there it is. All right. So now, apparently, you can open up an HBAR account. So what do we have to do to create this account? Well, we'll connect our device. We'll just follow the instructions. It's not that difficult. All right, I'm going to pull in this guy over here. Oh, boy. I hope I don't unplug it inadvertently. All right, let's turn this thing on. Let's zoom it in. Okay, let's... I got this mic in my way. I've never dealt with this. Okay, here it is. Okay. Most of the mic's in my way. But that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and enter my PIN. All right, so we've entered our PIN. This mic's in my way. All right, so the first thing I have to do is allow Ledger Manager. We'll do that. All right, and what it should do is try to see do I have the HBAR app on here or not? Okay, so I don't, so it's going to install it for me. Ledger Live has gotten smarter over the years. There it is, Open App Hedra. There's a Hedra app, so I'll hit both buttons to do that. All right, and then now we just look at our screen, and it's creating an account. Okay, add new account. Please refer to the support article on how to create a Hedra account. Oh, boy. What'd I tell you? Here we go. Complicated. All right, so let's hit close. And is it here? Where did it go? Are you kidding me? Did I miss it? Let's see. Hedra? No. All right, yeah. See, so still we have to go through these, jump through these hoops. Install Ledger Live. Okay, we did that. Install Hedra. We did that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we got to go over here. Right? We gotta create a wallet. We gotta go through all this stuff. Okay. Okay. Watch for prompts in your ledger as you interact. Don't have an account? Click here. All right. Oh my God. Oh, create wallet. Okay, hardware, ledger. You may see. Why did it just take me straight back to this? I don't get it. Oh, where were we? Oh my God. I forget where we were. Okay. Huh. Well, that's weird. Don't have an account. Click here, which is what we did. Okay, let's go back here. Don't have an account. Click here. Need help logging in. Click here. Let's open that. Click continue. Okay, we connect to our Ledger Nano X. Pardon me. Connect. All right, see, I cannot do this unless I have one of these account IDs because I need both, right? In order to continue, I would need to put in my Hedera Hashbar account, which I'm going to have to somehow get by going through all this. I don't see a... Yeah, see, we went through all this. I said I don't have an account, and then they took me back here. And where do I sign up for an account? Oh my God. Okay, using an existing account. So at some point, I need to figure out how to, create an account. Okay. Well, first I have to get the wallet, right? So it looks like I need to, oh my gosh. Okay, here. Home. Join. How do I create an account? Offers 3 ways. Keystone, mnemonic phrase with a hardware. Wait. Account ID. How do I get an account ID? Oh my God. Wow. Okay. That's really weird because I thought we went through all this and they still... Where were we? We were somewhere. Okay, we already have the wallet. We went through here. Don't have an account. Need help logging in. See, I don't have an account ID. Let's see. Oh my God. What a hassle. Join. Okay. Join HBAR wallet. How do I join? Okay, see now. Oh my God. Sorry. I don't know what it is, man. People just won't stop asking me about this Hedera hash graph, and I've been doing this for years, and I'm still this is just so confusing. Okay, I'm going to turn this thing off here, so I'm getting tired of holding it. Yeah, I can't figure out how to open an account. They somehow Yeah. How do I open an account? Wow. Yeah. Just don't know how I get that account. Sorry, guys. You stumped me on this one. I don't know. I've tried and wasted a little too much time on this. I hope I pointed you in the right direction. Maybe you can figure it out. But I sure can't. Because they're asking me for an account number that I don't have, and they don't have any links that show me how to sign up for this so-called account, right? They keep taking me through all this. Here I go. Click. Oh, I don't have an account. Okay, we've been through all that. Uh-huh. Okay, we went through all that. Okay, give your public key to a current Hedera account owner so they can create another account ID for you with your public ID. Using an existing Hedera account and the public key retrieved from your ledger device, create a new account in HBAR. Wow. Yeah, this is just so whacked out. Create new account. Boom. Okay. They don't like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I give up. I'm just not going to mess around with this thing. The only reason I went into it is because you gave me a tip, and I did my best. But most people, when they bring up HBAR, I just tell them I don't deal with it. Anyway, sorry. I tried. Love HBAR. Just put mine in Hashpack and then onto the ledger. That's the easiest way, IMO. Okay, Hashpack. Okay. Looks like I've been here before. Okay. Well, there you go. And I'm assuming that you can, once you have the HBAR installed, whoops. I've tried to do this before, obviously, because I put a password in. Ugh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to... Oh. All right, let's try this again. Hashpack. It's not going to let me do that. Yeah, I give up. I can't do it. I'm glad you like it, though. I'm happy that it's working for you, but I just doesn't seem like a pure crypto to me when you have to pay to get in there. But you wonder why they do this. They say it's made to last for 100 years, Hedera, but it will take that time just to get in. LOL, that's funny. Hi, Rex. When I logged in last week to PancakeSwap, it said make sure this is the right site, so I didn't move the stack cake yet. Did this same page come up for you? Before you... Well, okay, it's always going to say that, right? Just because they say make sure it's the right site doesn't mean it's not the right site. So you go to PancakeSwap, and they'll generally say something like, make sure it's the right site, and make sure you're visiting https://pancakeswap.finance. So you go up here and you make sure that that's where you're at, which it is. So, I mean, I know, I get it that you don't want to get scammed, right? But at some point you have to trust yourself, right? What you don't want to see is pancake-swap or pancake swap with 2 P's or pancake with misspelled cake, that kind of, those are phishing sites, right? Those are the kind of sites where they're going to try to get you to, make a deposit of liquidity, and it's going to go into their coffers, right? All this thing is saying is just confirm that this is the same URL that you're on up here. And it is, right? And I think we had someone last week that was wondering about finished pools, right? They had a pool, they went here and their liquidity pool wasn't showing up, but they needed to go over here to finished, for ones that are already expired. And they won't disappear if you put your coins in a liquidity pool that is finished. It won't disappear, but they'll stop paying out on it because it's done, right? It's no longer active. So your coins are just going to be sitting there, not earning any passive income. So in that case, you need to go and withdraw, your coins from these finished pools. And then once you've pulled the coins out, then you can go back into an active pool, right? But yeah, this phishing warning is just telling you to confirm you're on the same page as what this says, right? So just beware of anything that does not match this. So there's lots of scams, but if you have the page bookmarked and you've used it before and you're confident in yourself, just make these confirmations, right? Just eyeball it and make sure it's the same. Yeah. And there are scams abound, right? So you do want to, just make sure that you're on the right site. Let's see. Yeah, Binance actually made an investment in PancakeSwap. It runs on the Binance Smart Chain, which Binance claims they really have no authority over, although it was sort of incubated with them. But they claim that the Binance Smart Chain is independent now, even though they sort of helped it get going. But they're also still associated with a lot of, it runs on BNB, which is the native token of the Binance chain and the Binance Smart Chain. But it is, a separate entity. Somebody might say, it's just a front or whatever. But I mean, on the surface, it is not Binance. It is independent from Binance. But Binance did invest in PancakeSwap recently. Binance Labs makes undisclosed strategic investment in PancakeSwap. Right. Also, if you go here to DeFi Station, which is kind of an aggregator of all these DEXs, you'll see that PancakeSwap is still the number one DEX on the Binance Smart Chain. All right. So I've been using PancakeSwap for years. Pancake is way off its highs, right? I think it was up around 40 at some point, maybe 46, if I'm not mistaken. But just like every other crypto out there, it's way off its highs. So good time to buy, I guess. But like I said, be careful. The market could see more downside, right? All right. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this cube before we were going to buy a little Ethereum. Let's buy some Ethereum. I think we bought some Ethereum on Kraken last week. Let's try Binance US. That's not what I want. Oh, I'm wrong browser. Let's go. I got all my... all right. Oh, let's check to see if our Bitcoin came into Ledger Live yet. Well, it still says 0. And now we're in the infinite sync, right? Whenever this happens to me, I generally will quit Ledger Live and relaunch it. I don't know what Ledger Live has this problem with this sync sometimes when you're running it. Like if you've had it open for hours, sometimes it just won't sync. So I just kick it in the butt. It usually will sync on launch pretty well. And we'll see. Yeah, we're still kind of stuck. I haven't seen that Bitcoin come in yet. All right. Oh, there it is. Boop-a-doo. So, yeah, we withdrew like 46. If you recall, the charge was like 11 cents. But, you know, there's a little bit of fluctuation in the price between the time I withdrew it and the time it came into the wallet. And the price APIs that Ledger Live uses might be querying different exchanges to get the current price of Bitcoin than Coinbase is, right? So there might be a little bit of discrepancy between what Ledger thinks the current price of Bitcoin is and what Coinbase reports the current price of Bitcoin being, because there is no centralized place where we look at the, you know, end all be all price of Bitcoin like we do with the stock market, right? That's all centralized. So when you look at the price of a stock, that's it, right? Although even with the stock market, there's like off books and that kind of stuff. So it's not always like perfectly accurate, right? But generally, when you look during the market hours, when you look at the price of a stock, that's the price. But with Bitcoin, you can look different places, right? We can look on Coinbase. We can go back here. Coinbase is, I gotta log back in here. Okay. Okay, so they're saying the current price of Bitcoin is 28.45 and 44 cents. Pardon me. CoinGecko is telling us the current price of Bitcoin is 28,664, 28,516. And if we go to crypto.com is telling us that the current price of Bitcoin is 28,860. If we go over here to CoinTelegraph is telling us that the current price of Bitcoin is 28,464, right? So if you make a transfer from Coinbase into your Ledger wallet and you see a discrepancy between the value of the Bitcoin that you got on Coinbase and the value you see in your wallet, don't freak out, right? What you really need to look at is the amount of Bitcoin. As long as it's the same, you're good, right? The Bitcoin is the Bitcoin, right? The current price fluctuates between, you know, and what the current price is different depending on who's querying what servers at any given moment in time. So don't freak out when you move Bitcoin from one place to another and it looks like you lost some when you did, right? Dollar-wise. That shouldn't be a huge concern. Just thought I would let you guys know that. All right, so that Bitcoin came in. And then let's see. Let's do, what were we going to do? Binance US? Let's do that. Let's see what happens when we buy from Binance US and then deposit it directly into our wallet from Binance US. Ah. All right, let me go back. I messed that one up. I'm just going to let it rewind here. Okay, here we go. Coinbase. Oh, no, we're not in Coinbase. Doggone it. What have I done? Okay. Holy moly. Binance US. There we go. It done. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this buy crypto thing. Yeah, let's buy Ethereum. Let's buy 50. And I'm going to use my bank. All right, we'll preview that. They're going to charge me 25 cents, which is pretty good. We'll confirm that. And that should go through. Ah. Oh, that's right. They usually give you an error message. It gives you a lot of confidence, right? Well, let's just check in our wallet, see if we got it. It doesn't look like it. Maybe I didn't get it. Well, maybe. Oh, wait, there it is. Yeah, Ethereum, $50, right? There was a little bit in there already, right? Like 20, must have been like 25 cents worth or whatever it was, because we had pretty much bought $50 worth of Ethereum, right? So what we want to do is withdraw this Ethereum into our own wallet. And this brings me nicely into our discussion of MetaMask. So the first thing I would like to mention about MetaMask is that you can connect your Ledger device to MetaMask and manage your Ethereum wallet from MetaMask. So we can manage our Ethereum wallet over here. Like I can look at Ethereum main over here, and I can do a receive, right? And there's the address, ends in 72445, right? And I can use Ledger Live to manage my Ethereum. I can even see my tokens down here, right? All of the ERC20 tokens that I have stored in this Ethereum wallet. I can see their balances, look at their transaction history. I can do all of that in Ledger Live, right? But if I am using MetaMask, and let's just open up MetaMask in our browser tab so we can get a better look at it. The first thing we'll want to do is we'll make sure that we're over in the Ethereum mainnet. If you just install MetaMask clean, it's going to be the Ethereum mainnet, right? The other networks you have to manually add, the ones that I've added, right? But if you just install MetaMask, you'll have the Ethereum mainnet as your default network, right? You'll notice that I have a wallet open here called CryptoDad main. Up here on this circle, I can manage these different accounts within MetaMask. So I need MetaMask is one extension. It's one piece of software that can manage multiple networks, right? I can do Ethereum, Oasis, Moonbeam, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche C Chain, Binance Smart Chain. So it has that flexibility, right? And I can also manage multiple wallets, right? So when you first install MetaMask, you're going to probably end up with something that looks like this, just one empty Ethereum wallet. And now you can go up here and you can create an account and add an additional wallet, right? So as you can see here, I've created some additional wallets. Most of these are kind of empty. These are just things I'm not using anymore. Account 1, 2, and 3, right? But in addition to creating accounts, I can also import accounts. So not only can I import another wallet, like another Ethereum wallet, using a private key or a JSON file. All right. I can import wallets that I created somewhere else right into my MetaMask so I can manage them. I can also connect hardware. Like you'll notice right here where it says connect hardware. And I've got several different options to connect a hardware wallet to my MetaMask wallet. And by doing that, I am able to secure the MetaMask wallet with a hardware device. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's still here, right? So I can use my Ledger device to manage the private keys and then manage the public part of the wallet using MetaMask. And so when I do anything in MetaMask, I'll confirm in MetaMask, and then I also have to confirm on the device. So one of the things that a lot of people will tell you that MetaMask is a hot wallet. What that means, well, it's a broad term that doesn't have a very precise meaning. But in general, when people say the word hot wallet, or they warn you against a hot wallet, what they think it means is that it's vulnerable to hackers because the private keys aren't being stored properly or securely, right? A lot of times when we say hot wallet, we're talking about like an online wallet that is custodial. The wallet that I use in Binance US is a hot wallet, right? Because it's online and I don't control the private keys. I've logged into my Binance US account. Technically, legally, I have a claim over these cryptos because they're in my account, but they're managing the private keys, not me, right? So this is a better representation of what people mean when they say hot wallet. And there are other types of hot wallets where you might download the wallet and you can use it to store crypto and whatever, but they don't give you a backup phrase, and they're kind of custodial, even so-called wallets, right? Many people accuse MetaMask of being a hot wallet. And the implication usually is that the private keys are vulnerable, or they're not being, you're not controlling the private key, that it's somewhere else, like MetaMask controls it. This is false, right? MetaMask is a piece of software. It is a non-custodial wallet. If you just use the basic account, let me get out of this, right? If you just install MetaMask and use a non-hardware related account, it's still a non-custodial wallet, right? You control the private keys. The private keys are stored on your computer somewhere deep within your Windows files, and the password is encrypted on your computer. So in that sense, it's kind of a warm wallet, right? Because the private keys are vulnerable to a certain extent to hacking if your computer is compromised. My computer is not compromised. I've got all kinds of antivirus, anti-malware. I've got a firewall. I'm not worried about it. But some people's computers are compromised. And so if they're screwing around with crypto using MetaMask, then they could be at risk. But that does not really make MetaMask a hot wallet, right? It's still non-custodial, but some people consider it a hot wallet because it stores the private keys on your computer. All right. Now, if we use the hardware option, if we go and we connect our hardware device and then we connect it to the wallets that we've created on our Ledger device, now we're dealing with a cold wallet, right? A cold wallet is when you store the private keys on a separate device that's not connected to the rest of the wallet. Now, you could make some argument that, oh, there's a cable, and it's connected and that kind of stuff. But the way the ledger works is the private key is never sent across the cable, right? The private key remains on the device. It signs transactions. The only thing that goes across the cable back and forth between the wallet is confirmations and requests and confirmations. There's the wallet, the MetaMask makes a request. The device can use the device to sign or not sign, and then the authorization goes back across, but not the private key. Anyway, so we can, and I've already done this, right? You can see here that I have this Ledger main account. If I can get out of this. Here we are, Ledger main, right? Ledger main is using my ledger to manage the private keys. So if you'll notice here, this is the exact same account that we have over here. Let's get here. What I call Ethereum main has 0.05724 Ethereum. If we go back here, we can see, whoops, sorry about that. 0.572 Ethereum, right? There's 51 uni tokens in this wallet. See, there we go, 51 uni tokens. Exact same wallet, right? The wallet's private keys are on this device. I can manage them in Ledger Live, or I can use MetaMask to manage the exact same wallet by connecting my hardware. This is safe and secure. A lot of people bash MetaMask and they say it's a hot wallet and you shouldn't use it. It's not secure and all this stuff. And then a lot of people will ask me, is it safe to connect my ledger to MetaMask? And the answer is yes. The interface works exactly the same as it does in Ledger Live, right? This is the function of this device, right? MetaMask has an API that can interface with this so that when it wants to make a transfer request, I'm going to have to authorize it on this device, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about MetaMask, to kind of give you the straight dirt on what MetaMask is and what it's not, right? MetaMask is a great tool for managing cryptocurrencies with or without a hardware device. But when you use the hardware device option, it's even more secure. A little more complicated to use, but still more secure, right? And it is a safe wallet to use. I mean, I've had people, I'll do videos about MetaMask and they'll go, MetaMask is a scam. MetaMask is not secure, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, MetaMask has it is the top cryptocurrency wallet out there. If I can figure it out here. MetaMask surpasses 10 million MAUs, making it the world's leading non-custodial crypto wallet, right? It is a major player, right? And I know there are a lot of scams in the crypto world, but you get a lot of opinions. And we talked about this earlier about MetaMasks. I mean, we talked about opinions, right? You're going to hear opinions on one side and opinions on another side. Sometimes you just have to trust your own research, right? I get a lot of people that bash MetaMask. They say it's not safe. They say it's some kind of scam, blah, 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 right? Anyway, it's a wonderful piece of software. It's not perfect, but I use it and I have been using it for many years. I have never lost any crypto using MetaMask to hackers or otherwise, right? So what were we going to do, right? Let's put some Ethereum in this wallet. Right, let's copy this into our clipboard. Let's go back over to our Binance US. Let's go over here to the three dots and choose withdraw. And let's paste this in here. And we're going to use the ERC20 network, which is the default. Let's send it all, right? The whole 50 bucks worth. We'll hit preview withdraw. They're going to charge me $3.26 on $50. So pretty steep. And then I'm going to let this two-factor roll over to a new one here in a sec. 122048. Off it goes. And then they're going to send me an email. So I'm going to need to check that email. That's going to the CryptoDad. There it is. They want me to confirm that withdrawal. I usually like to open this up in a separate tab so that it just rolls through there. All right. And then we can see once it refreshes that the Ethereum balance, available balance is now 0, and the unavailable balance is 49, right? That's outgoing, right? If I click here, I can see that I have a pending Ethereum withdrawal, right? And we can manage that over here. We can just kind of watch, and pretty soon we'll get some new Ethereum in here. We can even refresh this in the browser. We'll just wait a couple minutes and we should see the Ethereum come into our MetaMask wallet. So as you can see, we can do deposits and withdrawals in MetaMask. Now, let me show you what happens when we want to move something, right? Let's move, and we'll just I'm going to play kind of a trick on you guys. That's not really a trick, but I'm just going to move it from one Ethereum wallet to another. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of Ethereum that I'm going to have to pay for fees, but that's okay. I have a different Ethereum wallet here. Let's get the address. Ends in 478 BD. All right. And then let's go over to MetaMask, and we'll send some of this uni to that address. So I'm just going to choose send uni. I'll paste in the address of that other Ethereum wallet. And let's go ahead and send 10 uni, just for the heck of it. They're going to charge me 0.02 Ethereum. Well, how much is that? That's $4 worth of Ethereum. I'm willing to take that hit for you guys, right? So I can do this demo. Let's open up the camera so you can see what's going on. Because as I mentioned, in order to do this, I'm going to need, and I don't know what this is. I'm going to have to, let me get out of this. Oh, that's something else. Oh, you know what? I think that was what Hedra Hashgraph was trying to have me do. They were like, they wanted me to export that key, and then I was going to use that, I don't know, to give to the other guy that already had the account or whatever. Yeah, I never could get that one figured out. All right, let's go over to Ethereum. I apologize for the Hedra thing that I couldn't get. All right, so now when we use MetaMask in association with our ledger, we have to be the responsible one, right? We have to know that in order to do this, we need to be in the Ethereum app, right? So let me click there, get into the Ethereum app. Now I'm ready to go, right? So I'll hit confirm on this transfer. My fees just went up a bit. We'll hit confirm. Now you'll see that the device is asking me to confirm as well, right? So this is the security of the ledger device. I'm sending 10 uni to that account that ends in 478 BD. I'm going to pay these Ethereum fees, about $5. I'll click both buttons to accept and send, right? So you see now that MetaMask is just as secure as using Ledger Live because nothing can go out of the wallet unless I authorize it by clicking the buttons. Now there's another way that someone could steal the funds in this wallet, and that would be if I revealed the 24-word recovery phrase of my ledger to them. Once I do that, all bets are off. They can restore this wallet to their device and empty out all the crypto I have stored in there, right? That's usually what happens to people that are using MetaMask, is they click on some phishing site and then they are tricked into revealing their backup phrase. Or they use their Ledger backup phrase to initialize the MetaMask wallet. I have I'm just going to turn this off. I have a video on avoiding that pitfall as well, right? You don't want to do that, right? You want to use that attach hardware device. Hi, kitty. This kitty's here. Yeah, he's probably going to mess something up here in a second. Whoops. I don't think we can do this, right? There he is. He's right in front of my keyboard. He's just waiting to roll onto the keyboard. Yeah. Oh, funny story about the cat. You notice this little thing over here? It's a little collar attachment that holds a AirTag, right? So I can track the cat when he's out and about. Right, so there's Marco. And right now he's here, right? But we let him out last night, and like he didn't come back in. It was like daylight when we let him out. And we kept calling him, and we couldn't get him to come back in, and I kept tracking him with that, the AirTag thing. And then finally at midnight, I was just like, I checked his location and he was like half a mile away. And so I'm like, I can't go to sleep knowing this cat's out there somewhere. So I got in the car and drove over to where his nearest location was and like walked up and down the sidewalk in the middle of the night, about midnight, and calling him. And sure enough, he came out from behind one of the houses and I got him home. So that AirTag thing was pretty cool. But, yeah, technology, man. Anyway, there, we got our, the 10 uni went out, right? And let's go over here. Well, let's see. First of all, we got our Ethereum from Binance US. We got that, right? That came in. And then the uni went out. And let's look over in Ledger Live. And let's see, where's that uni? There it is, 10 Uniswap. All right. So we moved Uniswap from one Ethereum wallet to another. Right. Now we could have done all of that within MetaMask as well, because I have that same wallet here. Right. This wallet, Ledger H, you can see that there's that 10 uni, right? So MetaMask allows us to manage Ethereum wallets on our Ledger device, and also other wallets that are on our Ledger device. So like on Polygon. See, I'm still using the Ledger H account, and I've got 917 Matic in my on the Matic chain. Right? We can even see that in Ledger Live. We go over here to accounts. We can see that Polygon on Matic, right? But because Matic runs on the Ethereum virtual machine, I can store Matic in my Ledger. And when I do that, it uses basically my same Ethereum addresses, right? Even though this isn't an Ethereum account, it's a Matic account, it's a Polygon account. But it's being stored on my Ledger safely and securely. The private keys for this Matic wallet are on my Ledger, right? I can look at the balance in Ledger Live, but when I'm over here in MetaMask using this, I can do more, right? I can go over to like the quick swap. Polygon. There we go. We go over to QuickSwap, right? And see it connects to my ledger-based MetaMask account. So MetaMask will allow you to connect to websites and do cool stuff with your wallets. And they'll be safely and securely managed with your Ledger device. So that's what I really like about MetaMask and its versatility. It allows you to take advantage of those Ledger. Ledger is a great device. Ledger is so... Oops, the cat just messed me up. Come on, kitty, get down. Ugh, I don't know what it is about this. Come on, you need to get down. Oh, come on. I know. You just want to hang out with Dad. For some bizarre reason. So I have to like turn my monitor off to get it to come back on. Anyway. Okay, what if malware hits MetaMask and hypothetically marries a request to send all of your funds to a hacker wallet with your next request? You do a transaction and approve on your next transaction. Okay, see, you're just convinced that MetaMask is not a safe wallet. Okay. Hypothetically. Okay, so hypothetically, they would need to get past my malware and my virus protection and my firewall. Hypothetically, right? And then hypothetically, I would also have to be on some kind of phishing site that wasn't the that was the hacker's website. Oh my God, please. What are you doing to me? Ugh. Ugh. Am I even still online here? I can't do anything. Ugh. Ugh. Well, I'm having trouble with my... Oh. Wow. Okay. I'm in trouble. I'm going to have to stop my OBS here for a sec and then restart it. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm back, right? Because I didn't end the stream. I just had to reboot my OBS software because it wasn't responding to any of my controls, right? I was trying to switch cameras like this, or, you know, maybe this, right? I wasn't able to switch scenes, but now I'm back, right? Sorry about that. Man, every week I'm trying to improve my professionalism and, you know, the technical issues like the mic and the sound, and it's like, and every week some new flub happens that makes me look like an amateur. I'm just trying to hang on here, man. The market's crashing and like I'm losing respect. All right, so we're back. Okay, I guess. Let's go over here. All right, so we were at the hypothetical, right? Hypothetically, I've been infected with some kind of malware. Hypothetically, I'm on the wrong website. Hypothetically, some hacker magically is able to connect in between me and the end of my transaction, and somehow when I approve my transaction, it's going to the hacker's wallet and not the wallet I'm sending to. I think the chances of that are pretty slim. As I mentioned, hypothetically, anything's possible, but I've taken all the proper precautions. I've used this wallet many times. You saw the transaction when I sent it, and it went to the place I expected it to go to because I got the address from my own wallet and pasted it in so I didn't mistype it. So I find it very very slim possibility of somebody somehow getting in the middle of that. And even over and above all of that, if I have, this is all cryptography, right? When I approve a transaction on my ledger device, the destination is already set in that approval. And it's encrypted, and there's a hash. And one piece of that message has a hash. So when it gets to the other point, if the hash doesn't match, the transaction will be rejected, right? So for a hacker to get inside my transaction and change the wallet address is, let's say, virtually impossible. I use that word sparingly because no one has hacked 512-bit keys, right? It just has not been done. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but for your average hacker, there's no way that the average hacker is going to somehow be able to hack a Bitcoin signed transaction, right? That's cryptography, right? So somewhere along the line, somehow your question involves a hacker somehow marrying a request, hypothetically marries a request to send all your funds to a hacker wallet with your next request. I can't use the word impossible, but we're pretty much there. There's no way a hacker is going to hack a signed transaction and somehow alter it. The only thing a hacker could do is hypothetically trick me into pasting the wrong address from the wallet that I'm sending to. If that's what we're talking about. If we're just talking about the simplest of cases, which is a transfer from one wallet to another. Because you saw me do the transfer. I'm familiar with that address. I've seen that address many times. I cut and pasted it from my wallet into my MetaMask. And if it had been like somehow like there was malware on my computer that went into my clipboard and changed that address to a hacker's address when I pasted it in to my send field, I would have noticed it right away because I'm familiar with that address. Maybe not everyone would have. That's kind of that weak point right there. There's possibility that a hacker might have some kind of clipboard manipulation malware, right? That where I cut and paste and it, instead of pasting my address into my to field, I paste his address. That's possible. But like I said, I'm experienced. I have malware, virus protection, firewall. I know what I'm doing. The address is familiar to me. Pretty slim chance of that happening if you know what you're doing and if you're careful, right? But if you're on a fake MetaMask site, you downloaded like a fake copy of MetaMask that is phishing software, that during the installation of MetaMask, it asks you for your 24-word recovery phrase and you put it in there. Those kind of scams, that kind of malware will get you, right? But I've been doing this for a while. I know what the MetaMask website looks like. I know I'm using a good copy of MetaMask, right? I know everyone's worried about getting hacked, but you have to have, at some point, you have to trust your own abilities and not walk on eggshells every time you move crypto from one place to another. It's easy for me to say I know because I've been doing this for so long. And most people, they're not familiar with MetaMask, they're not familiar with these websites, they're not familiar with Ledger, they're not familiar with wallets, they're not familiar with crypto, and they're terrified. I get that, right? But that's kind of why I'm here showing you guys this stuff, so that you can see it in action and have confidence in your own abilities. And you can do this too, right? And always test with small amounts, right? If you're worried that somehow a hacker is in the middle somewhere, then don't send $5,000 worth of Ethereum from one place to another on your first try. Try 20. And if it goes to a hacker's wallet, then something's wrong. Disconnect from the internet, reinstall your Windows, run your malware, whatever you got to do to get rid of all that, whatever's infecting you, right? So they can only steal what you're willing to send, right? So unless you've given them your 24-word recovery phrase, and then they can just empty out your wallet, they don't need you anymore. So don't ever give out that 24-word recovery phrase. Don't ever tell it to anybody. Don't ever type it in. I've seen it. I've downloaded malware. I've seen it in action, right? And I know better than to, enter that 24-word recovery phrase. So anyway, I know it's a hard world out there. Okay, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everyone here with your questions. I appreciate Dan and JDO for being here and moderating. I appreciate the tip that BC Mike gave. Sorry I wasn't able to get and Maxwell Perry. Thank both of you for those tips. And sorry I wasn't more proficient at the H-bar. At least maybe I pointed you in the right direction. And hopefully I got to everyone's questions. If I did not get to your question, my email is down here in the description below, thecryptodad@gmail.com. So I encourage you to send me an email. If you have a simple question, I'll do my very best to get it answered. And I guess that's it, right? Let's see if this works. Okay. We do this every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. I hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and